Welcome to Oakcliff Sailing, located on the beautiful shores of Oyster Bay, New York, where the spirit of adventure and the skill come together on the water. Led by Dawn Riley, Oakcliff Sailing is dedicated to providing world-class sailing training from beginners to elite competitors, with a focus on developing the next generation of sailors. With Dawn's passion for the sport and a commitment to education, Oakcliff offers a unique environment where individuals can hone their skills and pursue their dreams. Join Dawn as she takes us behind the scenes to explore the training, dedication, and thrill that make Oakcliff Sailing a premier destination for sailing enthusiasts. I'm James Webster, and this is Owners and Operators.
My family sailed. It sounds blue blood when you say my great-grandfather was a founding member of the Detroit Yacht Club, but it was because he was a canvas maker and a sail maker for the ships before they had engines on them. Yep. And then he did canvas work for Fred Ford, Model T, that kind of stuff, but then lost all the money in the Depression. So grew up very blue-collar, middle class, and we prioritized sailing.
How did they come up with the name Oakcliff?
So we had Oakcliff was the name of the main benefactor's property, and it just was here. And I argued at our first board meeting that we should keep it as Oakcliff because it meant nothing and we were going to build the brand. And anything else we came up with had an association with it that made people think it was something that it wasn't.
How did you and the team decide this is the right time to get started with Oakcliff?
So I had done 4 America's Cups, 2 around the worlds. I had been on the board of U.S. Sailing, the national governing body for the sport, and I was getting ready to do my 5th America's Cup. I was also racing on super yachts and Saint-Tropez and Sardinia and St. Bart's, and this was a consulting project to come in and help people that had Oyster Bay as a location. They had about 30 boats. They had some funding and they wanted to do something more significant than just help people go sailing.
Sure.
So I did a full SWOT analysis and came up with what was missing and gave that to them. And I gave them 5 options. They picked what now is Oakcliff. And I thought I was going back to super yacht sailing. And then they guilted me into becoming the executive director. I said 3 years, that's it, and I've been here 15. Is
Oakcliff set up as a non-for-profit?
Well, all the America's Cups are non-profits for supporting national and international competition.
Got it.
Oakcliff is that as well as a public nonprofit. So we are a combination of a job training site, training athletes for national and international competition. But our mission is to build leaders through sailing. And that's really what we do. And it's multifaceted because we take people that have learned how to sail at yacht clubs or at community sailing centers, and they come in and nobody's really a professional sailor. So we give them the job skills like to do composite work on boats or fix sails or rigging or engines or project management or business or budgeting or marketing or PR or database. So it's a full corporation that we have going on here. It's just that everything we make, we spend on training the next generation. So we are absolutely nonprofit.
What's the next big accomplishment that you guys would love to see?
I'm doing a tour this winter to all the different areas in the country to help them. They always want Oakcliff to come and set up there. And no. We're going to do an exciting speech, get everybody pumped up, and then have a working session or 3 working sessions consecutively for the athletes who might want to go and become professional or Olympians or whatever. For the funders, so the parents of the athletes, how to spend money, how not to waste money, how to help your person become the best that they can be. And then for the institutional organizers, the clubs, the classes, so that they understand how to do something great, how to own something in terms of their marketing and their structure, and how to be as efficient. And our biggest one right now is collaborative.
Did you have any business background while you were sailing, or 'cause it seems like you had?
I put myself through school working on and around boats, so I was my own individual CEO. I was project manager of boats, $500,000 boats. People trusted me with. And then I was the captain of the sailing team at Michigan State, and I graduated in advertising. So I had some training, but really it's what we're providing here. It's practical hands-on training that I learned more as captain of the sailing team and organizing the fundraising and the regattas and the logistics and all that than frankly I learned in the classroom from a practical skill point.
Where do most of the students come from?
People,
Long Island, I would assume.
No. We have people from all over the world. And it's part of the reason for our tour this winter is because we find that it's word of mouth. And so we'll have like one person from Wisconsin, and the next year we have 5 from Wisconsin. And, they build. And then the next time it's Oklahoma, and then it's Southern California or England or Ireland. So, we have people from all over the world.
How many employees, full-time employees do you have here?
It depends the season, but we're always looking for more. We have 8 currently and 100 boats, which is insane. We'll usually have 6 people full-time just on that boat. And we have just that number of people to do everything.
Who is your core student? Like, if you could paint that picture for us, who might that be?
The individual that does the best here is somebody usually in the 20-year, early 20s, who may or may not have done college, and they're from a middle to lower middle class background, or lower, because they haven't had all the opportunities, and they are in here just discovering their own power, and they go on to do amazing things.
What goes into hosting a regatta?
Here, hosting a regatta at Oakcliff, we host 12 to 18 match racing events. So we provide the boats. We have the bunkhouse upstairs where we provide the housing. We do charge them like $25 per person per night, just because we got to do a lot of laundry. And then we provide the coaching and the umpires and the boats that you go around and judge and umpire from. And then we do the food next door at our clubhouse. So for us, it's in-house everything.
You have 100 or so boats that Oakcliff owns. What's the difference between some of them?
We do have some of the Olympic class boats, which are small and fast, but we have lasers and sunfish. Then we have 470s, which are 2-person. Then we have the ones that fly, the Nacras. We have quite a few foiling catamarans. And then we have a fleet of 4 FAR-40s. Now, those are the boats that are our workhorses for offshore. And we sent 3 of the FAR-40s and then 3 other big boats. So we had 99 people who raced from Newport to Bermuda this last summer.
Wow. Who's in charge?
In a business sense, the helms person is the CEO, and they're in charge. But just like in business, they're the ones that are in charge for the show. And you've got the people in the front of the boat that are doing the work. You've got the people in the pit who are more administrative, who make the whole thing work. Nothing happens without that person. Sure. And then the tactician is often, and depending on which boat, they could be the mainsail trimmer as well. They're the ones that are setting the strategy. They're looking up the race course. They're more like the chairman of the board. And that has to be the person with the most experience.
Speaking of that, why are the steering wheels so big on sailboats?
Because the steering wheels are so big because it's the same reason why you hike out. You want to be able to get your weight to the correct side of the boat, and you want to be able to see around and look at the telltales on the sails and see the waves and what's coming at you, and other boats so you don't run into them.
Oh, that's interesting. Has the vision of the business changed since Oakcliff first started some 15 years ago?
Shockingly, the vision of Oakcliff has not changed in 15 years. The branding was evolved once, and we solidified the building leaders through sailing about 10 years ago. The only thing that's changed is we just keep doing more, because when somebody comes in, especially when it's a trainee, they come in and they say, can we do this? My answer is always, I don't know, can we? And then they put together the project, and there's a lot of young, smart, motivated people, and they come up with something like, okay, here we go, let's do this.
What advice would you give somebody looking to start another Oakcliff, a business like this, somewhere in the country, in the world?
So business, sailing or not sailing, right? Just
in general, maybe if it was towards sailing.
So Oakcliff is a business built on passion to figure out a way to do something that we all love. So the first thing is it's not easy. It's 24/7. It's work. The best advice I was given when training young people was from a friend of mine who's German, and when these guys had just screwed up. It involved perhaps taking a keg from the facility. He said, you must tell them they are assholes, but you must laugh a little bit on the inside. And I think of that many days.
I like that. What would you say is the biggest challenge that the business faces today?
I think like every nonprofit, funding is always a challenge. And we do corporate team building. We're just straight donations. We have tuition, so like the YMCA, but we fundraise heavily for scholarships, because anybody who wants to come here, if they need the funding, we'll figure out a way to get them here. If they're only paying $25 a day, and if they have to work it out by helping me empty the garbage, we got it, right? So funding's always super important, but it is not the panacea. Just throwing money at a problem is never the solution. So keeping our quality of training, our mission, our leadership, our discussions, and our humor are the most important things.
That makes sense. What's next for Oakcliff?
We are going on a tour this winter to fill all of our programs, and we are doing everything we can to supplement all of the things that our national governing body is not doing correctly. So we're not taking over the sport at all. We're just getting out there, committing to the time and effort and air miles to get me and some of our graduates to different places all the way around the country. So improve the sport in America across the board.
It's really cool. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
And appreciate you doing this today.
Yeah,
really learned
thanks
a lot
for coming.
Today. Thanks for joining us at Oakcliff Sailing. We hope you've enjoyed exploring the world of sailing and training with Dawn Riley. To catch more stories about local businesses and adventure, subscribe to our channel for future episodes. And if you or someone you know has a business to share, leave a comment below or reach out to us. We love showcasing the talents and pursuits that make our community thrive. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Owners and Operators.